Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to Living Up. Beautiful, isn't it? Surrounded by all this green. Well, today on Living Up, we're focusing on going back to nature. Imagine if you went on a juice fest where you take things, well, vegetables that are full of chlorophyll for 100 days or for whatever amount of days, just to make sure that you set your system back in order. Sort of a detox or a cleanse. Interesting, isn't it? So today we are in Runda, Mimosa Drive. We are at the BackToNature Natural Holistic Wellness and Retreat Center. We're here to meet the co-founder of this huge BackToNature movement, Juice Kunga, well known as the Juicing King, Juice Warrior. He's gone for 100 days without a single solid food. Nothing else but juices. This is going to be interesting. Follow me. Let's go up to Kunga. Let me just grab this. Hope is it ready? Okay. Thank you so much for having us, Kunga. Exciting to finally meet you. Do this actually interview. We've been going on and on about it for a while.
Well, the pleasure is mine. I want to say I highly admire the work that you and Wikali do, as well as the Life and Style show with KTN. So it's a pleasure being here with you today.
Absolutely, and you look amazing.
Oh, thank
Considering
you so very
I saw
much.
the before and I'm seeing the after. So maybe you can just take us to before. Like, who was Kunga before this amazing transformation?
Very good. Well, Kunga was a gentleman who always was a serial entrepreneur, someone who loved life and always had a passion for optimal living. However, I found myself at a very awkward situation where I had run myself down after chasing for money, after having a certain level of success, but that success, I paid a price for it because I ended up compromising on a lot of my principles and a lot of my values in order to achieve that success. And so I ended up a place where I was 350 pounds, about 175 kilos. I started developing lifestyle diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and a number of other complications that came from that lifestyle that I was living.
How long ago was this?
This is now, I'm currently 42 years old. So this really started to hit home in a very dynamic way around 37, 38 years old, where I realized that I was just sort of sick and tired of being sick and tired. And the straw that sort of broke the camel's back were a couple of my business partners who we were both burning the candles on both ends of the stick, ended up succumbing to lifestyle diseases. And it was a big wake-up call for me because we had worked so very hard to achieve this level of success, and they could not even enjoy it, right? And so to me, I thought if there wasn't a paradigm shift, if something didn't change in my own life, maybe my fate might end up being what theirs was. And I said, no, I wanted to live, I wanted to thrive, I wanted to be, sort of experience life at its optimal, level. And so that's where I decided to make a change and go through a paradigm shift.
It's very interesting because most of the times people will get to a situation in life where they think this is where I need to change things, and they will tell themselves these things, but they don't get actually to do them, or probably start and they're drawn back to their old ways. How have you, what was that thing that kept you going in when you decided to change your life completely?
Beautiful. Well, I guess as being a Kenyan, born in America, but to Kenyan parents and Kenyan heritage, and I consider Kenya home. And I decided, because I hadn't been home for about 15 years, and I was, researching on the internet that, Kenya is one of the fast-growing economies in Africa. Africa has 7 of the fast-growing economies in the world, what they call this Africa Rising narrative. And I'd studied it for about a year and a half. And so in the back of my mind, when I knew I'd sort of run myself down and this situations happened with my business partners, I knew it was time to come back home. And to sort of come and get my feet on the ground, and to find out what was, because I'd heard what was happening in terms of telecommunications and M-Pesa and all these things that had happened in a number of years. So there was this big transformation. So I ended up coming, and it ended up being a blessing because I was supposed to be here only for 3 weeks, and I've been here now, Wikali, over 2 years, okay? And I've
3 weeks stand 2 years.
Absolutely. Kenya has a way of welcoming you. And I felt a certain sense of contentment, a certain sense of peace, a certain sense of belonging.
Okay.
And I've chosen to leave the world of high sales and marketing, cutthroat business, and engage now in organic farming. So I started like a 20-acre organic farm in the Thika area, and that's sort of where the genesis of this Back to Nature movement started from.
Okay.
So this scenario presented an opportunity for me to leverage changing my life and making the decision that I was going to take a different path than the path that I had taken over the last 8 to 9 years of my life previously.
Wow, interesting. Back to nature, that's
Yes.
where we are at. Because it's a movement now.
Yes.
Everyone is talking organic, everyone is talking healthy living and going back to nature.
Yes.
Give us a bit of background on that. What is it all about? And how has that changed your life?
Fantastic. Well, Back to Nature is based on a very simple concept, very simple philosophy or ideology, I'll put it that way. That the closer we are to nature, the more whole we are, happy we are, at peace we are, the more at ease we are. The further we get away from nature into artificial things, processed things, things that are not so natural, we get into a state of dis-ease, which is the root word
For
of
disease.
There you go. There you go.
You led me right into that one.
There you go.
Okay,
and funny
beautiful.
enough, the word disease presupposes that your natural state, my natural state, everyone who's watching this, our natural disposition is ease. So when you're sick or unwell, they say you're dis-eased, right?
Yeah.
And so with that, that is our natural state. And so the Back to Nature movement, this is our mission statement. We seek to inspire, motivate, and encourage Kenyans, East Africans, and Africans through a movement to adopt a more natural, holistic lifestyle approach towards maintaining or regaining your health if you lost it. And the reason we put the maintaining is this. Sometimes people hear about our movement, they think it's for sick people.
Yeah.
No, if you're well, if you're healthy, the number one thing you want to do is maintain your health, all right? And so with that, we believe that through this particular movement and what all the things that we're incorporating into this particular movement, a person can maintain their health if they have it, or if they've lost it, they can regain it by adopting a more natural, holistic lifestyle approach. Because I discovered some very interesting things when I came here to Kenya. That Kenya has a fast-growing economy.
Yep.
There's a growing middle class. They have more disposable income. They're adopting more modern Western lifestyles. And with that come the Western modern sort of diets. And then behind that are these lifestyle diseases.
Yeah.
And so that is one of the reasons that the big chains, international chains, food chains are coming
into
here.
Kenya, true.
Absolutely. The ones from South Africa are here.
Yeah.
The Kenyan ones are here, even down to the Kibandas, you know, the Mandazi. So there's a fast food culture that has really taken over, you know, here in terms of Kenya as a metropolitan, you know, in Nairobi primarily as a metropolitan city. And this has led, we call it, to an unprecedented, alarming rising level of lifestyle diseases.
True.
What they call non-communicable diseases.
Yeah.
Like diabetes, like cancer, the obesity,
High blood pressure.
Exactly.
All of that. And it's very, very interesting to note that you were suffering from some of these diseases before you started your journey with Back to Nature. So when was the first day that you decided, you know what, I am going to change this, I'm going to do this, Back to Nature, detox cleanse, get my state, my body or maintain or regain my healthy state back?
Yes.
Then how long did it take? Because I think I met you before you finished your
before
you finished your 100 days.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you saw me through some of that particular process, and I want to thank you for some of the encouragement and motivation that you gave me. Well, I want to say that, Mukali, so there's two sort of the impetus that was behind me taking on this very interesting journey. So when I found out this alarming rising level of these lifestyle diseases in Kenya, actually coming directly from the Ministry of Health, to the tune of 22% of all deaths in Kenya are being attributed towards lifestyle diseases. That's 370,000 people. Whoa. When you divide 370,000 people by month, by week, by day, by hour, it's about 45 to 46 people an hour are dying from these lifestyle diseases, leave alone those who are suffering in quiet desperation. Millions actually living with these diseases that small little modifications in lifestyle could help to avert, to alleviate, and possibly even to be able to reverse. And so I said, wow, just like someone who might walk from Mombasa to Kisumu for a particular cause or reason, or might ride a wheelchair across East Africa, or the first lady who decided I'm going to run a marathon to raise issues or awareness for children's issues. I decided I'm going to do something for myself personally. It's a little selfish, but also something that's a little extreme, but to inspire and motivate others. Because when a human being does something extraordinary, it brings awareness to a particular issue. That's when I decided I'm going to consume nothing but liquid juices, as well as other complementary liquids, everything in liquid form, no physical or solid food for 100 days. And that officially started October the 10th, 2016. And it finished on January the 17th was my last day.
It was a Wednesday.
I broke my fast on Wednesday, January the 18th. Yes.
Whoa. So 100 days of nothing but juice. What kind of juice are we talking, just for the viewers to understand?
Yes. Well, I will have to say that we believe very much in chlorophyll. As you can see, probably there's a lot of green around. We're right in Mother Nature's bosoms here. So with that, I was primarily consuming about 3 to 4 liters of juice a day. Okay, and about 80% of it was greens and 20% of veggies, and 20% of it was fruits, yes? But not only that, I was complementing it with other liquids such as madafu, the coconut water, which is delicious, such as the sugarcane juice, such as herbal teas, lemon and lime water. We were even consuming nut milks made from almonds, walnuts, cashew nuts, etc. And then on top of the complementary liquids, I was also supplementing them with supplements such as moringa, which I'll be able to dissolve in water and drink, such as spirulina, such as chia seed, the flaxseed, cayenne.
God, did I learn so much from that? But just to make it clear for the viewers out there, Kunga did 100 days of nothing but liquids. And I'd like to know what was the result from that, because I saw the before, and I saw you when you're just doing how many kilos did you lose?
Okay, so I started the journey on October 10th at 140 kgs, right?
Yes.
By the time I came to the end, I had released about 35 kg in that entire process. And yes, I have to say that was an accomplishment, Mikali, but do you know what the real prize was? We in the BackToNature movement say weight loss is a beneficial side effect. The real prize is feeling alive, Mikali. The real prize is having the energy come back, feeling revitalized, feeling rejuvenated, my memory coming back, my mind being clear. That is the real prize. Being able to thrive, not just merely survive. Because we say, why settle for life at 20 or 30% if you have a potential experiencing life at 100%. And so yes, I'm very proud that I was able to release, even though I'm still on that journey. So I have probably an extra 15 to go to get into my GQ-ness. But nonetheless, it has been a tremendous journey. And I learned so much, Mikali, on that journey. I learned that Mother Nature is simply marvelous. She's simply fantastic. I learned that that when my body goes through this process of detoxifying, cleansing, that it could be a little uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
At times.
At times, yes.
Yes. However, that once you get through some of the nauseousness and the mucus that's coming out, the headaches, and the days where the energy spikes are up and down, all of a sudden you get this sense of peace and contentment. You get this sense of a certain serenity. You get this sense of just appreciating life and having a certain amount of gratitude. So I would have to say, for all the ups and downs, all the trials and tribulations that came along this 100-day journey, it was well worth it. Now, I would not recommend anyone try that. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit extreme.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, we always recommend in this Back to Nature movement that one has doctor supervision, because it's something that I actually had myself in terms of a Dr. Donald Thoreau, who did oversee my journey. And so we recommend anyone taking a journey of this nature does have an opportunity to have doctor supervision. However, we say that most people treat their vehicles, their cars, better than they treat their bodies. So they'll take their cars for servicing every 3 to 6 months, but they don't allow their own bodies to service. Right?
You put us into that challenge, Kunga, a 7-day challenge of a full body service.
Yes.
And it was hectic. But I thank God that we have you on the show, because most of the people will actually think or not believe that it's actually doable. But you're a living proof that it's actually doable for you to make that decision consciously and live through it and see it to fruition, which is really, really amazing. And it's not just about, like you say, it's not about losing weight, because most people will think, nafanya hivyo I lose weight. But there's so much more that comes with it.
Absolutely.
What is the end goal for BTN?
Excellent. Well, what BTN wants to do is we, like I said in our mission statement, seek to inspire, motivate, and encourage Kenyans, East Africans, and Africans to, through a movement to adopt a more natural, holistic lifestyle approach towards maintaining or regaining their health. So we see that there's so much pain and suffering that's unnecessarily taking place in Kenyan society. Yes, with these lifestyle non-communicable diseases. And we know that small little modifications in lifestyle could help to be able to sort of provide some solution for this unnecessary pain and suffering. So one of the things that we want to do in the BTN movement is this. To be able to get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Kenyan households consuming a 250 to 500 milliliter of glass or bottle of primarily green juices 3 times over a course of 7 days. Whether they choose or a person chooses to go on a fast, a detox, a cleanse or not, we believe Mother Nature is so powerful that if Kenyans or Kenyan households are able to consume 250 to 500 milliliters of a primarily green juice, say for instance on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, that bringing in Mother Nature and all the things that are in a juice that has the enzymes, that have the chlorophylls, that have the antioxidants, that has the vitamins, that have the minerals, all the goodness will come, bring that into the body. It will neutralize the toxicity that is leading to a lot of these non-communicable lifestyle diseases, and therefore we sort of reduce some of the pain and suffering. And that's one of the reasons that the Back to Nature movement chose juicing as one of the vehicles. It's not the only one, but it's sort of a primary vehicle we're using. Why? Because it's relatively accessible, it's relatively inexpensive, and it's relatively easy. Why? Because that 250 to 500 milliliter glass of green juice, if you were to try to eat all the vegetables it would take to make that, it'd be hard to eat it at one sitting.
True.
But you can drink it in 30 seconds and get all the nutrients, all the goodness in the body. And so we say, even if you went out partying on a Friday evening or a Saturday, because Kenyans are not becoming vegetarians tomorrow.
No.
Kenyans are not going to give up the nyama choma and the alcohol, right? And so there's a saying we call it, it says, it's easier to give something to someone versus try to take away something that they like, right? So we say, great, even if you don't have the best diet in the world, Mukali, we believe Mother Nature is so powerful that if you're taking a 250 to 500 milliliter glass of green juice 3 times a week, by bringing in the goodness, it will neutralize the toxicity from all the negative things that you've taken in.
It's very, very important to know that these things that make actually these juices are readily available. So someone will be thinking, where do I get all of these things? Which is the one challenge that most people have. So where am I going to get all these things? But it's very, very basic. You'll get what's the worst juice you've ever taken? Is there one particular one that you don't really like? I have one.
I have one.
Kachumbari. What's called Alfie's Kachumbari?
Alfie's Kachumbari.
It has chili, it has onions. That's terrible. That was like the worst ever.
Wow. It's so funny in this journey because you find that someone's favorite juice.
There are people who say that Alfi's kachumbari is their
It's
best.
their favorite juice, and then others who, you know, like.
Did you at some point get to, or did you at any particular time get to a point where you thought, you know what, I can't do this anymore? Why is it so hard? Why don't I have to eat? And have you incorporated meals into your diet?
Yes.
Like solid food.
So during the time when I was juicing exclusively, yes, you do reach a point where physically your body is like, man, I've had enough, right?
Yeah.
But I had prepared myself psychologically and mentally. And that's a big component of this Back to Nature movement, right? The mental, the 6 inches between our 2 ears, our mind, our mindset, our psychological state, and understanding what adopting a healthier lifestyle is about. And that's one of the things that we do give people assistance with in terms of how to best prepare one's mind when embarking on a journey of becoming healthier. Yes?
Right.
So on top of that, we had, and we're very big here in the Back to Nature movement, as you know, about community, family, a support network, a support system. Why? Because human beings are social creatures, right? And so when you try to adopt a new lifestyle, especially a healthier lifestyle, and you try to do that alone, it can be relatively a little difficult. But if you have a team there, a family there, a support system there that can be able to guide you, inspire you, motivate you, hold you accountable when that needs to happen, and here, there, you know, share testimonies, share what's happening when you're adopting this lifestyle, then it makes it a lot more easier. So that is what allowed me to sort of go through the 100 days. Is the journey was accompanied by many other individuals along that journey, such as yourself. So some people joined me for 28 of those 100 days.
Whoa.
Others joined me for 7 of those days. Others said, Kunga, we're going to come along with you for 14 of those days.
How huge is this movement? Because when I joined, I think it was during the 28 days, that's when I was aware of something like this that's going on.
Yes.
Of course, I didn't get into with the 28 days.
Yes.
But how big is this family now?
Yes. Well, it has grown exponentially, and it's just really a sign of the times that Kenyans are ready.
Oh, they're taking it well.
Absolutely.
Oh, great.
Because Kenyans know that something is amiss, that something is a little wrong. So the stories such as the Jadudi story, yes, where young people in their 20s, when they should be at the peak of their health and wellness, start experiencing things like cancer and diabetes and things along those lines. People in their families and their friends, they know a lot of people in their circles. If they're not personally affected by these diseases, they know people in their circles that so they're looking for answers. And when we come and say, we're not saying that the Back to Nature movement is the answer. As a matter of fact, we work in what we call a complementary or an integrated relationship with conventional medicine. So we recommend people to see their doctors. We recommend people, if you're on particular medication, to take it. We never say stop seeing your doctor or stop taking him. No. But what we do say is that no matter where you're coming from, whether you're fully healthy or you're at a place where your health is challenged, as long as you adopt a more natural, holistic lifestyle. And it's very important, those 3 words. Natural, okay, holistic, meaning we're dealing with the whole person, all right, and a lifestyle, not just a diet or a fad or something here today, gone tomorrow. No, that this is a lifestyle change. Then we feel you give yourself a greater likelihood of having healing, of having whole health, optimal health, and being able to live your life in as much in a dynamic way as possible.
This conversation is almost coming to an end, but how important is the exercise when I am doing or following the Back to Nature movement?
Fantastic. Well, exercise is extremely important. Moving the physical body. The body is meant to move, and that's why we say it's a holistic approach. So we deal, in a sense, with diet in terms of nutrition. We deal in terms of physical movement. We deal in terms of the mental, psychological components. We deal with, because a human being is a complex creature, right? A human being has relationships. A human being has a vocation, whether you're a student or you're a business owner, you have a particular profession that you're pursuing. A human being has a spiritual side, right? A human being has emotions. So what we work on here in the Back to Nature system is addressing the whole part of the human being, and exercise, physical movement of the body is an extremely important part of it. Something as simple as walking.
Just take a walk.
When I first started this journey, I could barely walk for 5 to 10 minutes, Mukali, without huffing and puffing, having to sit down. It was a sad state. But nonetheless, that's one of the things that I started to do every single day, start walking. And I started to increase from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Now I'm able to walk, and I prefer walking than almost any other physical movement that I do at this particular point in time. Okay. Sometimes up to an hour and a half of just walking. And Nairobi is not the most friendliest walking city, but I do find a way to get around, and so if you guys ever see me walking sometimes through the Westlands area, don't think I need a ride. I just like to walk because I'm breathing, I'm thinking, I just feel alive when you get a chance to move the body.
All right, so I'm sure the one thing that everyone is asking right now is, how do I get onto that movement?
Yes.
So how can people get in touch with you and get to know the basics? Because you're very keen on issuing the guidelines first before someone just get right into the detox or the cleanse.
Absolutely, that's where we deal with the mental component to best prepare. Because when you go into and you choose to do, a maintenance, okay? It's like you maintain your car. So let me just change the oil in my body, the spark plugs, sort of let the toxicity come out. We say it's best you prepare for it, and prepare for it mentally, right? So there are a number of things that we have people watch, there are a number of things we have people read, there are a number of things we have people prepare for in terms of everything from a shopping list to what equipment to get, and this is all you can get when you come through the Back to Nature system. So a great way that a person can get a chance to do that is to join our community. Okay. So if you go right to our website, www.backtоnature.co.ke, and just click on the community, or you can just type in community.backtonature.co.ke. You can find us on Facebook, Unplugged, A Journey Back to Nature. Other social media, Twitter, Juice with Kunga, so that's my handle, Juice with Kunga. And so with that, you can be able to have a chance to reach us through a lot of our social media pages. You'll get in touch with someone who will be able to give you guidance. Once you give us your particular information, your email number, you'll be added to a couple of groups. You'll receive, even a free recipe book, as well as a frequently asked question and guide that will be able to give you a proper preparation to begin this journey of coming back to nature and adopting a healthier lifestyle.
All right. Thank you so much, Kunga. This was amazing. Thank you so much for talking to us today and opening up our minds to an immense amount of, opportunities and possibilities, that you do not have to choose to live 20% of your life if you can actually have the full experience of 100%.
Yes.
So if you've been watching the show today, I'm sure you have learned so many things, not just a little thing, but you've learned so much. So go ahead. You know what to do. It's www.backtonature.com. There you have it. They click on community or community.backtonature.
Yes, .co.ke.
.co.ke, that's what's up. And you can talk to us on KTN Life and Style on Facebook, KTN Life _Style on Twitter and Instagram for all your questions. SMS us 22840. We will be talking, this conversation is still going on. So next Monday, join me on Living Up, because we're going to be talking to people who joined Kunga on this movement and how this movement has changed their lives. Don't go too far. We're taking a very short commercial break. When we come back, we have Brian Swimmer on Beyond the Sport.
I love tasting different kinds of food, and to me, time ya kukula ndo huisha. Si ati mushiba. Time ndo inaishaga because I have to go and do other things. Wamsikia?